happened again. Another college lecturer slamming our soldiers and the people sending care packages to them overseas. Last week, in a letter published in the Iowa State Daily, Thomas Walker wrote this, quote, "Don't their families send them Yuletide goodies? Aren't GIs paid enough to buy what they need? Necessities should be doled out to the people who really need them." Walker then went on to rip Republicans, asking why they're the ones supporting, quote, hapless veterans. Mark Seavey is the new media director for the American Legion and a U.S. Army veteran. Do you take umbrage, Mark, with the term hapless veteran?
Yeah, I mean, that letter was so full of idiocy that actually kind of ranked down there. He clearly has a constitutional right to say what he wants, but just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean you should. And, you know, I have a constitutional right to try to renegotiate with my cable company to pay my bill through Interpretive Dance. It doesn't make it a good idea. And if his effort was to have people send fewer care packages or something of that nature, it's clearly not working.
It just makes no sense to me. Clearly, if you think about something like this, why in the world even print it? I mean, perhaps keep this to yourself. Iowa State, though, coming out, and the president of the university saying this, quote, "Please understand that Mr. Walker's comments or opinions do not in any way represent Iowa State University. And as a military veteran myself, I strongly disagree. I do, however, respect every individual's right of freedom of speech, which is so highly valued in our nation."
Right.
What do you say to that?
Yeah, I think, you know, the president is clearly right, and he's in a tough spot. I think it would be really unfortunate if people viewed Iowa State as the big loser in this, because let's not forget that this letter was precipitated by an effort to send care packages to troops overseas. So it was the Iowa State community coming together that actually made this guy go down this pretty idiotic path.
Is this more of an insult to the troops or to the people who are packaging these things up and deciding to send them to the troops?
You know, I would say the second. I don't know. It's interesting. I was at a charity event yesterday at the Army-Navy game, and I was there with Legionnaires and members of the Ranger Up community and even some Baltimore Ravens cheerleaders, and every one of them was more upset over the fact that it seems to demean the people who send the packages more so than the troops. Now, there was another passage in there where he said that the only good that soldiers do overseas is to create terrorists, and I actually, the more I look back on it, the more idiotic that portion becomes, and less so the packages. I don't think there's anyone in the world that thinks that American troops are so affluent that that they don't deserve care packages.
Look, and they're not going hungry, true. But the point isn't that. It's that getting something from home shows the men and women in uniform how much we care about them. I can recall when my brother was serving in the first Gulf War in Baghdad. We packaged up some DVDs, some movies, just to send to him to let him know during the holidays, hey, we love you. We're thinking about you. We know how it must be over there.
No, absolutely. I mean, you know, the U.S. Army gives you about 3 MREs a day, and each of them has 4,000 calories. Wasting away wasn't my primary concern. But when you get Girl Scout cookies in the mail, it means a lot more than just the Girl Scout cookies. It means that somebody took the time and the energy to put a lot of postage on that package and send it 8,000 miles away. It was more a symbol of what people back here are thinking and their support for the troops, rather than the actual care package itself.
Well, Mark Seavey, we appreciate you joining us this morning. We hope you have well, here is the lecture, the contact information if you want to send a little letter yourself. It's freedom of speech in this country. You can let them know what you think about that. Mark, we appreciate you joining us this morning, and have a Merry Christmas, okay?
Thank you, sir. You too.
And we want to know what you think about this. You can find me on FF Weekend. There's our Twitter account here on Fox and Friends. Please send us your messages and let us know what you think. Coming up here